old are you now?
I'm 11. So I was
All right, it was probably like about 8.
8. Okay.
It was a couple years ago, easily.
So very recent. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
last year.
No, that wasn't the first. That wasn't last year. It was the year before last.
Oh,
It was the year before. The very, very, very first time. Not the time that we did the stuff outside. That was the last time. It was the very, very first time. We were about 8. He was about 8, I think. 8 or 9.
So your relationship with Megan and Melanie, that's got to be a
Oh,
whole different.
that's interesting. And I bless Monica for that, because this is when I knew I was significant. She told me, "I want you to spend time with your granddaughters, because I want them to experience you.
That's
I want them
huge.
to have the experience of you and who you are."
Wow.
So they've been staying with me since they were like 6 and 8,
Mm-hmm.
and they would come and spend like 2 weeks with me every summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I remember one instance. I probably would put this in the thing. I told them, I said, I'm magic. I'm really very fast, and I'm magic. And they said, "What do you mean, Grandpa? What do you mean?" I said, "I can go from here all the way across the street and come back before you even know I'm gone." And they said, "You can't do that." I said, "Watch." And we were sitting there, and I said, "Did you see me?" And they would go, "You didn't move. You didn't move." I said, "I told you I was fast." Okay? And they were like, "You can't fool us. You can't fool us." All right, I'm going to do it one more time. Watch really closely. All right? And we were in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'm going to leave here. I'm going to go over to that tree. I'm going to climb that tree, come back down, and come back over here before you even see I'm gone." And they both watched me back. I said, "Did you see me?" And of course, "Grandpa, you can't fool us." And we went through that whole thing, but, they all have nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
What are they?
Well, his is Money,
Mm-hmm.
because that's his thing. He knows how much money is in the bank and what he's doing with money. He's very good with money. Megan is Slim for her structure. And Melanie is Baby Girl. And the names came, they're not things that I just thought of, it was just stuff that was happening, and that's
Right.
that's how the names are. I have nicknames for everybody. I have nicknames for Monica. I have nicknames. Monica's Shrimp, and Nigell's Rocket. Nigell, when she was, I'm going to say like around 9 or 10, was running track.
Mm-hmm.
She was posting times for 60 yards that were serious times,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how she got the nickname Rocket.
Okay.
And then she developed as a woman. I was like, okay,
Right.
can't be running.
Right, can't be doing that.
That kind of thing. But that's how it happened. And my relationship with each one of them is independent. It's like, we have a certain thing that we do. I remember, now you got me thinking about all that kind of stuff. I remember when I got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and the girls were with me. And Megan said to me, "Grandpa, I'm worried about you." And I said, "Why are you worried about me?" And she said, "Because you're all alone now."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "I'm not alone." And she said, "Well, yes, you are." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "I have you. I can't be alone if I have you." But she was that sensitive
Right.
to that whole adjustment thing. And I was like, that blew me away. And I don't know why it did, because she's just a very sensitive person
Right.
to begin with. My relationship with Nigell is, she probably knows me better than anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
because I've shared so much of my personal life,
Mm-hmm.
even to the point where she'll go, "Daddy, please." I remember when I first got divorced, and I said to her, "I can't afford to be taking women out on dates because I can't afford it, it just costs too much money. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook for them, invite them to my house and cook for them." She said, "Daddy, that's not how you start a relationship. That's after you've been in a relationship for a
Right.
while." She said, "That ain't going to work." And I'm like, "Dang, man, you blowed up my whole thing, But that's the way I share with her. Monica and I are on a completely different level.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I know I'm blessed. And the reason that I am as comfortable as I am with myself
Mm-hmm.
is because I was telling Darren Stephens, I have the 3 elements that make your life whole. God first,
Right.
my health, sometimes, my health, my family, and my friends.
I love it.
Okay? If you have those three elements in your life, God is always first. God, you don't even have to count that. If you have those three elements in your life, everything else is a bonus. Everything else is a bonus. Think of your life. You have your family, you have your health, you have your family. And you have legitimate friends that you've had for years, that if you picked up the phone and said, I need you, they wouldn't even ask you what you needed them for. They would say, where do you want me to be and what time do you want me to be there?
Wow.
Okay? I'm blessed in that I have more than one friend like that.
Wow.
So you think about your life, okay? If you have your family, you have your friends, and you have your health, everything else is a bonus. Everything else that you get is a bonus. And then I have the added bonus of I'm playing with the house money now.
Because you've crossed over, you're at 71.
Yeah.
I love it.
How can I not be happy? It took me a long time to get there. I was angry for a long time.
Angry about what?
About life. I was just angry. I was angry about getting older. All of a sudden, you know, my reflexes weren't as fast as they used to be.
Right.
My recuperative period after being hurt wasn't as fast as it used to be. My life adjustments weren't happening the way I had planned them to be.
Right.
I was angry. Nobody knew that. It was inside.
Right.
And when we did the road trip, we came off the road trip. I can remember at that time I was still smoking cigarettes and you know doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting outside of the bus, having a glass of wine, smoking a cigarette. Just thinking about life. Just thinking about it. And I realized that my anger was diminishing me
Oh.
for me. And I said, this is diminishing you, man. You don't need to carry this anymore because this is diminishing you. And I said, I got up from the chair and I just did this.
You gotta let it go.
It's all gone. It's all gone. Now, one of the things that I'm able to do in my life is that when I come to a conclusion, I can immediately make the adjustment and I don't go back there.
And move on from there.
All right? And at that time, I was still married to Linda. And I said, all of the negative things that I've been bringing you, you'll never have to deal with them again. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, they're gone. They're gone. I don't want them anymore. And she said, you can't do that. I said, yes, I can. I said, that's the one thing I can do.
That's a gift.
Okay? And then the other thing in the adjustment then when I'm like now by myself was, again, and I read this somewhere, two things. One is most people complain about what they don't have instead of embracing what they do have. Right? If you embrace your blessings, the rest of it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Okay? And then I read, when I was going through the therapy with my shoulder, I read this little line from a poem. And it said, I finally realized that there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Is that deep?
That is.
Is that deep? I've been blessed in my life, Richard, in that I get messages in different ways. Sometimes it's reading a book, sometimes it's listening to a passage, sometimes it's just sitting down listening to somebody talking, and I try to stay open to those things. And it changed my life.
Wow.
It changed my life. So people go like, you just look happy. Yeah, I only have one thing I have to do in my whole life. All I have to do is wake up and be happy. Can it get any better than that? It can't get any better than that.
What a perspective.
All right? It cannot get any better than that. So people say to you, you know, when I went through the, went to Monica's hospital and did the whole physical thing, and that whole physical takes a whole day.
Right.
Right? And they take you through the hearing, and then somebody who's you know, who specializes in hearing, you know, that, you know, how you know, this is what you need to do and so on and so forth. So I go through this one thing, and this woman says to me, doctor says to me, what are the things that you find stressful in your life? And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, I don't have any stress. And she said, everybody has stress. I said, not me.
And then,
I don't have any stress in my life. And she said, could you tell me how you accomplish that? Because I need to be there, you know. And I
Good
said,
morning.
good morning,
morning, baby.
how are you?
I said, you know, I don't have stress.
But what about regrets?
Regrets? Oh, God. Don't get me started with those.
Gary make breakfast.
A lot of my regrets are things that I didn't do for people or things I didn't say.
Right.
Alright,
Eggs and some potatoes.
I've never felt like I had to acknowledge to people, hey, I did this for you, or I said that
Right,
for
right,
you.
right, right.
I would tell you that probably the thing that
Are the boys still here or did they leave?
they're still here, I think,
Should I make some kind of?
is that,
I don't know if I'll have enough.
I didn't realize it, but I've been able to touch, you were saying this, when you said, you know, I said to you, you know, Darryl, I've known Darryl since I was young. I've touched people and I didn't know I did it, and now I'm getting feedback,
Right,
and that's fantastic.
okay.
All right, I've had people say, you know, you took the time to say such and such to me when nobody else was talking to me, and I never forgot it. And I'm going,
Weird.
you know, isn't that what everybody does? So those are the things that, regrets, oh, I have them. I don't dwell on them. I try not to dwell on them. They happened, their history, move on.
Tell me about the bus trip.
You know, I again, reading stuff.